So this is my tropical and subtropical garden, potted garden, in Canberra in the ACT, where I have a large number of plants not really suited to our hardiness zone. On the American classification, we're in hardiness zone 9A, and this means that we can have cold temperatures ranging anywhere from -6, -7, -8 degrees Celsius every single year, which is really outside of tropical and subtropical conditions. Now, I've been keeping a blog somewhat, not as well as I should, of my fig trees, cuttings that I took in winter last year. We're in April now. That's approximately 6 to 8 months in the ground. And this is an update, perhaps, not only on the subtropical and tropical plants that are growing, but the fig trees that are growing as well. I have between 10 and 15 varieties of fig tree, and every one of these figs was a cutting earlier in the year. This tree that you're looking at now, for instance, this is a panache fig, otherwise known as a tiger fig. It produces a variegated striped fruit that is green and light green and yellow in colour, and meant to be absolutely delicious, although I haven't actually tried one myself. Some of these trees are producing figs already as 1-year cuttings, or 6-month cuttings, most of which will not actually end up ripening. Over this way we do have some of these cuttings that have in fact not only grown figs but ripened figs this year. This one, for instance, is a green Ashia. This produced some decent sized figs in its first year. These figs I found were quite bland, not very juicy, but that's to be expected in a first year fig. Just across, however, this is a Violette de Bordeaux, another fig, a French black fig, and this one has in fact a ripe fig that is ready to pick. This fig is becoming soft to the touch, very nearly ready to harvest. I will give it another day or so before I actually pick that from the tree and have a taste. Again, I've already tried this fig this year. It's produced another ripe fig already, but I found it to be quite bland and tasteless. Many people would say that you shouldn't allow cuttings to fruit in their first year, and it's probably true. So these figs that are on this tree have taken a lot of energy to grow, but they might find that by the end of the season they're still not ripe and I'll have to pull them off. And that's even more true for some of these figs over here that are barely more than figlets at this stage and have probably just wasted the tree's energy growing them. But I wanted to see if they could produce them and how they would taste. This fig here, it's on a plant called Oxus Green. It might actually ripen. Looks like it's a couple of weeks away from being ripe. And so that's an update my fig trees and how they're going. If you've been following along my blog, I know that I haven't been updating it as much as I perhaps should, so that you guys can kind of keep up with that. And I've had some questions around that and around my avocados and other things I've posted. And so this might end up being quite a long video that covers a few of those things, as well as the other plants I'm growing. So moving on to the tropicals and subtropicals, what do we have? Well, this one here is a new addition, potted up just this week. This is a blue Java banana plant. Now the blue Java is meant to be a colder hardy banana tree. This came originally in a 30 to 40 centimeter pot from Daly's, sometimes called the ice cream banana. It's meant to have a sweet vanilla ice cream like flavour, and it's meant to produce bananas that are blue. And if you have online and you Google blue Java banana, you'll find there's many images that show bright blue doctored bananas, photoshopped bananas. I don't think they're actually going to come out anywhere near that colour, but we'll see how they're going. And I've got this particular pot on the table right now next to my scotch to show you the kind of size that these plants arrived originally from Daly's when I ordered them, and behind it the size that has been achieved in less than a year's growth, approximately 6 to 7 months in pot. Now this variety I believe is called a Grand Nine. And over the last 6 to 8 months, however long we've been in a pot, maybe 5 to 7 months, this has grown to at least 2 meters and has formed a couple of little pups down the bottom. So you can see this is one pup here, one side shoot, which can form an entirely new banana plant, and behind there another little one that's popped up. This is in a plastic, approximately 50 litre container from Bunnings, and I hope to overwinter this with the rest of my tropicals and subtropical plants, so hopefully it won't die and will maybe even fruit next year. Now bananas are fully tropical plants. At any sign of cold they will become damaged. You can see that this plant has actually suffered some damage already. We've had at least 2 days this year below 5 degrees Celsius and as low as 2.5 degrees Celsius back in March as an early cold day. You can see the damage that has been caused on the leaves from those low temperatures, although in general the plant is green, lush and healthy. Now banana trees are interesting in that they're a herbaceous plant. They're a herb rather than a tree despite their size. Each of these leaves forms an independent part of the branch. So you can see that this leaf here runs down and forms like an onion almost parts of the branch. Now if this tree was to be frosted on the outside, it's totally possible that these exterior leaves turn totally black and brown and dry, and they protect the center, so that next year, growing through this center part, new leaves grow out after the cold has gone, so that the plant can grow and maybe even fruit without the stem being damaged. If the stem got killed all the way to the ground, banana trees also grow from what's known as a corm, which is a bit like a bulb. And even if this entire stem, which is quite big, was to die off, it can still be alive under the ground and sprout back up, either from these pups or new ones that will form. And each year the corm will get larger and larger, and the banana should grow quicker and quicker until hopefully we actually get some fruit off of it. Although I am hoping that being protected under cover over the winter will be enough to keep this plant going so that we hopefully don't frost.